Hello and welcome back to this channel. So in today's video, we're going to talk about all the brand new features in Adobe FRESCO. So if you don't know this already, Adobe had a Adobe Max conference recently, and they introduced all these brand new features into FRESCO. It's available for download for everyone. So make sure you go ahead and download it or update your FRESCO so that you can find all these new features. Okay, so let's just get started. So the first one is that your FRESCO is now available on the iPhone. Unfortunately, your Apple Pencil is not supported on iPhone, but you can buy a very cheap stylus or something and you can work on FRESCO. And the good thing is it gets synced across all your devices wherever you have FRESCO on it. And then you can pick up the illustration from your iPhone to your FRESCO on iPad. So that's a very cool thing we have. Okay, so the next one that I want to talk about is a different thing, that is a smudge tool. Yes, people, we have a new tool called as a smudge tool. So let me just go ahead and demo it a little bit for you guys. I will go to my brushes, and there's some new brushes called as charcoal brushes. You have to go check them out. In this, I think I'll take something like a wine charcoal, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw a face. Okay, let's just say this is a girl, something like this, and I just want to give here some dark texture to it, I hope you can see that. Okay, so now we have something called as a smudge tool, and what this smudge tool does is it obviously lets you smudge stuff, but you have one more thing. You can choose any kind of brush that you want to act as your smudge tool. So I can take the same brush and go ahead and smudge it. And this actually works really great when you're working with charcoal or pencil, but that's not the only thing that it works really great with. I'll just show you a quick example. I'm going to go to any of my picks and brushes. Just so you know, this works only on pixel, and the watercolor brushes will not work on the vector brushes. So let me go to a pixel brush and go to my basic shape. Reduce the size. I'm going to take a very pink color and draw a circle, a blue. Okay, this looks good. Go to smudge tool, and I'm going to go back and select the same brush, and I'm just going to mix this. Let's increase the size and mix it nicely so you have this very nice variance over here. Okay, so this brings us to the next option that we have, that is a multicolor eyedropper tool. So I think I've covered this in one of my previous tutorials, where how to create your own brush in Adobe FRESCO. If you want to go check it out, I'll leave the link in the description box below or here in the cards. Go check it out. So I won't be covering a lot about this particular tool, but I just wanted to show how you can use it with the smudge tool as well. This is something I created with the multicolor eyedropper tool. It's actually one brush stroke in the background, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's go back here, and let's go ahead and click on the eyedropper tool. And now when you do this, you get two options here. One is a normal eyedropper and the one is a multicolor eyedropper. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it here, and you can see a swatch over here. And if I want to increase or decrease, like what I want to include in my brush, you can just zoom in or zoom out, and that should be fine. And once you have this, click on your pixel brush, and now you can draw, and it's going to come up like that. So I'm just going to increase the brush size to really big, and then give one stroke like this. You can also go ahead and click on the brush properties here and decrease the spacings and stuff like that to make sure that you have a brush that you would want to use. And there you go. This is how you can use the multicolor eyedropper tool option along with the smudge tool option. Okay, so the next feature that we have is the pressure sensitivity. So I know that a lot of people work differently when it comes to brushes. So for example, with the vector brushes that I have, I kind of like to go thin and thick and stuff like that. Now, if you want to mimic the way you work with a pencil on a sheet of paper, now you can actually adjust this sensitivity. You just have to go to settings, go to app settings, input, and in here, you have adjust stylus pressure. So click on that, and you get many options here. You can test it out. You can make it lighter or heavier. You can also adjust these curves here. And if you don't like any of those things, you can click on reset, and it's going to reset the whole setting, so you don't have to worry about modifying anything as well. So the next one that I have for you guys is high resolution time lapse. I assume you guys knew that we could take a time-lapse video of whatever we draw. Like when you click on share and click on publish and export, there's an option to time-lapse export here. But now you have another option. If you go to app settings, if you go to general, and in here you have something called as time-lapse settings. And you can change this to anything you want, like high resolution, you can give dimensions and stuff like that. So it becomes very easier to get really high quality time-lapse video out of your fresco. So the next one that we have is a version history. So this might not be very relevant to a lot of people, but for some people this might be a really good thing. What we mean is if you click on this arrow button here, it shows all the versions of this document. So you'll know which version. Like for example, you've been working here on this iPad and you've been working on your Mac or Windows desktop as well. And it'll show you different versions so you know where you left off and where you have to pick up from. So this is very useful when you're working on huge projects across and you want to make sure you're on the right version. So next up is sharing and feedback. So if you come here, you notice a different element right here, and that is called sharing and feedback. And if you click on that, it gives you an option to actually share this document with other people so that they can comment on it, they give you feedback. So you don't have to leave Fresco at all. You don't have to export this as a PNG or JPEG, email it to someone. You don't have to do any of those anymore. You can use this area to do that and get client feedback very easily. Next one is live stream. I don't think I'm ever going to use this, but I know a lot of people out there live stream their artwork. As you're drawing, you can live stream from this iPad or your Android tablet onto Behance. You need an account with Behance. It's free and I would highly suggest that you go and create one. Behance is like a social media or a place to show off your artwork, to connect with people, with other artists, art directors, and everything out there. It's like a portfolio, but also a great place to meet people and engage with people. So this would be an opportunity to live stream on Behance, and you can always invite others to join you and watch what you're drawing. So this is a very cool thing, and I think you should try it out. Next up are brushes with Adobe Capture. Now Fresco calls this Adobe Capture ribbon brushes. You need another application called Adobe Capture, which is, by the way, absolutely free. This app has been around for as long as I can remember, maybe 3 years, I guess. And I've been using it for quite a long time now, but I realized that a lot of people don't even know about this app. And I'm thinking of making a separate video completely on this app so that you guys have an idea of how capable this app is. You could do a lot of things with this app. For example, even use it to create textures or even for textile design, finding patterns for textile design. And one of the other things is using it to make brushes. And you can use these brushes now with Fresco. So once you have your Adobe Capture and you have created a brush over there, they will show up under Pixel brushes. And if you go back here and scroll down under library brushes, you'll see something called as My Library. And if you click on that, you'll see other brushes that you've created. And you can use it with your Adobe Fresco. Good thing is you can change the color. So it need not be just black and white. It can be any color. And that's like a plus point. So now you can create your own brushes in Adobe Fresco. Next up is easily sending it to Illustrator. So if you remember previously, we didn't have an option where we could send this file to Illustrator directly. We had to either export it like this and use a PDF version and then open it up in Illustrator. We could always send it to Photoshop because it would sync under the cloud documents, but it never showed up in Illustrator. So that was a little frustrating, but now we have a separate option for that. When you click on share, you can see something called a send to Illustrator, and it automatically sends the file to Illustrator. And that's a really good thing because it makes your workflow so super smooth and easy. And the one I wanted to talk about was vector trimming. So vector trimming was available even before this, but I don't think a lot of people knew about this. So I thought I'll include it in here. So what's vector trimming? Let's just look at these two apples. I'm just going to go ahead and choose a vector brush. It's really important that you have a vector brush for this. Click on the vector brush and take any vector brush you like. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to go ahead and change the color to black because I think that looks good. Before I do this, I just want to quickly show you what's happening here. I've grouped all of these together. Now, if I want to get inside the group, I just have to double click and it opens up like this. I'll go to the apple layer and I have my brush, and I'm just going to draw a line like this, or a couple of lines like this. Now, if I want these lines to not extend beyond apple, what I had to do previously was I used to use my eraser brush, but then it would distort these things, and that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? So if I go back to the vector tool now, and I'll take this one as example, and I'll make a couple of lines just like before. And now I'm going to double click on this, and now it shows the blue button inside. So I'm going to click again now so that the blue color goes to the outer ring. And now if I just do this, it takes off any extra lines that are there, you know, like that. It just erases it off. And you have such nice trimmed edges. So this is basically called as vector trimming, and this is really, really nice. Okay, so now let's go to the last bit of features. I think this is like one of the most important features, but I left it to the end because I wanted to show you something. Did you notice that everywhere I go, I was using a particular font? Well, now Adobe FRESCO supports font, and they don't just support fonts, they support a multitude of fonts. So you just have to click on your text tool. Let me create a new layer and uncheck this. Okay, and I just have to click here, and it quickly opens the text panel. You can always access the text panel from here. So now you have an option to choose fonts. You can see so many Adobe fonts here, but if you want more fonts, there's an option to click on more fonts, and then it's divided based on tags or category, and you can choose whatever you want. And that is so nice, so nice. And not just that, if you want, you can change the size by increasing or decreasing like this. And it also has other options like, you know, all caps, like this, center align, and stuff like that. So it comes up with a whole bunch of options that you can use. And if you want to type something here, you just have to click on this keyboard option, and it lets you type in. And once you have applied something, you can click on style text, and it will go back to that particular layer. And now if you want to edit the size of this, obviously if you go here and increase or decrease, it doesn't show up here. So you have to either click outside so that it's selected, and now you can increase or decrease as much as you want. You obviously have blend modes that you can use if you want to. These blend modes are available for all the layers as well, so you don't have to worry about it. Once you're done with text, you can just click on this menu here and click on any of the brushes, and you'll get out of that layer. So you can also make this text very colorful by just clicking on it and going to mask layer contents. Obviously you'll have to convert it, swipe, and now you can go ahead and choose any color that you want. Let's increase this, and we have some flowers. Yeah, you could do that, or you could go ahead and just select some brush and color it as well. So that's all about text. But I wanted to show you one more thing. If you click on your settings here and go to app settings and click on experimental, you see that there is a new experimental feature over there called as simplify vector layers. So what it does is all vector layers will be simplified while you maintain, like, you know, appearance and improves performance. So if your illustration has vector layers which you want to be simplified, you can go ahead and test this one out as well. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. If you want to learn more about Fresco, there are lots of tutorials on my YouTube channel. You can just search for a playlist called Fresco and go through them one by one. I hope you'll go ahead and experiment with all these features, and do let me know what's your favorite feature of this. I think text is going to be my favorite feature because we all love text. I've always wanted to have text in Fresco. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video then. Bye-bye.